Hello YouTube and universe, and welcome to Scarstorm Productions. I'm your host Morro, here to bring you everything new on your favorite brands and more. And today we'll be taking a look at the October releases for Beyblade X. Before we begin, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification so you don't miss another video like this, because it may be a small click for you guys, but it's a big help for me and the channel. And we also have a Discord, so if you ever want to join that, the link is in the description down below. Now without further ado, let's begin. First up, we'll be talking about BX37, the Beyblade X Double Extreme Stadium set. Now, this will be the first electric stadium that's going to be in Beyblade X, and personally, I like it a lot. Now, the way this electric stadium works is, it has two extreme lines, one at the normal area around the rim, and one in the center. Now, the one in the center goes up and down, so if a bay gets inside of it, it can actually speed it up to go even faster. Now, Takara showed it in person and how it worked, and I have to say, battles are finna get even crazier now, because we already know the difference between the Hasbro and Takara normal stadiums, but with this electric stadium in the mix, battles are gonna go even crazier. Because if the bay leaves the extreme line after getting supercharged and hits the second extreme line on the outer rim, it's gonna go for some devastating hits. I also love how unique this stadium actually is, because in the 25 years of Beyblade, we have never got a stadium that actually had this elevator-like gimmick, so props to Beyblade X for giving us something completely original for a new stadium. Now, my question is this going to be shown in the manga or anime? Because if it is, I want it to have justice, because this seems to be so much fun. Now, for the box of it, I have to say I love the blue they use for it, and it really helps the black stadium pop out a little bit, which is really cool. Now, the only thing I don't really like about this stadium is the bay that comes with it, that being Bear Scratch. Now, Bear Scratch was originally what I thought to be a Hasbro exclusive bay, being Savage Bear. And it's basically a retool of Rhino Horn, which isn't the best defense type bay, but it has some uses in attack type combos, which it is this time because it has flat instead of a defense type tip. Now, I personally think the color scheme for Savage Bear is better because, well, I'm a sucker for any shade of blue. But don't get me wrong, the base still looks cool, and it's a good way for those who aren't in the West to actually get it, because here in the US, it's basically in a booster thing that's only like $7, while nowhere else, you probably can't get it. But with this set, you can, and it's perfect for that. And of course, since it comes with a bay, it also comes with a launcher, and instead of it being fully black, it has a golden ripcord, which is similar to Leon Claw's, which I'd say gold always works perfectly for any kind of bay launcher. You cannot go wrong with gold. Now that's it for the Double Extreme Stadium set. Moving on to the next release for this month, we have UX08 Silver Wolf. Now, Silver Wolf will be the third stamina type to be released in the UX line, and this is a pretty huge one since this has a gimmick to it. And I don't mean the bit has a gimmick just like Phoenix Rudder, I mean the actual blade has a gimmick to it as well. But let's start off with the bit first. First up, we have Free Ball. Now, you must be wondering, what's the difference between this and normal ball? Well, if you put the two side to side, you can actually see those little prongs at the end of the bit to let you know that the gear chip can spin. They're not actually there, so it spins by itself, which I'd say is pretty good if you want a stamina combo, and it kind of reminds me of the bearing driver from Burst, which I'd say if it's a free spinning part, it works perfect for any stamina combo. Now, moving on to the next part, we have its ratchet, that being 380. Now, 380 is a pretty good ratchet. It's pretty round, which is perfect for any Beyblade X combo, since the rounder the ratchet, the less prone it is to bursting. And since it's the 80 height, it's going to be pretty good for tall combos. And since it's gray, it may go good for any gray combos you have. But other than that, there's nothing really much to talk about. It was like a Wave 1 release with Night Shield, so not much to talk about. Now, moving on to the next part, and pretty much the best one, we have its blade, Silver Wolf. Now, Silver Wolf is amazing, and I love the motif it has for it. It's a wolf bay that has ice behind it. And if you notice, if you look at its left ear, you can actually see the Bakuten Shoot logo. Now, if you're wondering why that's important, that's because for Team Pendragon, all their bays had the Bakuten Shoot logo, and they were references to older bays. And with this having it, that means this is a reference to an older bay, that being Wolfborg. And it fits perfectly because, well, both of them were stamina types, so it's just symmetry because, like how the Pendragons were, all of them were the exact same type as the bay they were referencing. Now, one thing I absolutely love about it is this is the first X Bay to actually have a gimmick, and that gimmick being a free spin layer. Now, if you don't know what I mean, think of Wyvern from the Burst series and how the layer spun when something hit it. It's basically the same thing, but unlike Wyvern, it can actually go both ways, which is an amazing detail. So that means if you have a left spinning or right spinning bay, it doesn't matter because the attacks will deflect. Now, the only thing is, I wish they would put this on a defense type bay because they're kind of lacking in, well, the defense department if you don't angle the launch. But other than that, this is a pretty amazing bay, and hopefully we get to see more bays with gimmicks, just like this and the future Samurai Saber that's coming out. Now, we also get to know who the owner of this bay actually is, and turns out, for those who thought it was Etsu's mentor, you were correct, it's him. And I love how he looks, and the white hair that makes an X is just perfect. Now, that's pretty much everything I know about him because I cannot translate that name. So if anyone can translate, that would be helpful. But other than that, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you all enjoy. And if you're wondering why it took me so long to make this video, it's because a ton of stuff's been going on with my life. And, well, I didn't have that much time, but now I finally got it out. And plus, I wanted to get some more information before I put anything out. And if that's it, that's a wrap. Fade to black.